Rock and Roller Coaster's recent closure is getting me really worried, especially for the future of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, and here is why. When you think about it, Rock and Roller Coaster was a surprisingly popular attraction, garnering 65-minute plus wait times on a regular. Then you also got DCA's Disney California's Tower of Terror, which was also another very popular ride with hour-long wait times on a daily basis. You might be wondering, how are these two attraction closures related? But here is a trend. And if you are a long-term Disney fan dating back from the early 2000s, there can be some rather worrying trends in the making, especially when it comes to Hollywood Studios' Tower of Terror. Well, let's back up the clock and go to Disney California in 2017. Actually, late 2016. That is when it was revealed and the rumors were confirmed that Disney would be retheming DCA's Twilight Zone Tower of Terror to Mission Breakout. And what really blows me away is that the staff, especially the gift shop locals, allegedly were only told 1 week in advance when they were getting their new schedules. And it's been rumored that Disney was not telling anybody about that retheming due to the potential online backlash, which, in my opinion, Disney did receive due to how popular that Tower of Terror ride was. Then I know I'm kind of going skyward, so let's go to Disneyland Paris. As you may know, please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not very good at pronunciation, but the original Disneyland Paris Space Mountain was themed after Galago's adventures, where Galago would go inside of a ginormous telescope and get launched into space. Well, guess what happened to that really popular attraction? It got rethemed to Star Wars, to a current IP, and which gets me really worried because of how Disney rethemed DCA's Tower of Terror under the same premises of putting in a relevant IP. Same with the great movie ride in Hollywood Studios around that same time period. And now we got Rock and Roller Coaster, which is being rethemed from the 1990s Aerosmith to the Muppets. And I realize, here's the difference with the Muppets. The Muppets date to 1990 to 1955. However, when it comes to the Muppets, they've gained a lot more popularity over the recent years, including a really recent Disney Plus revamp. I know I may sound a little dramatic, over-exaggerating, but because of all these recent IP changes, when you look at Tom Sawyer's Liberty Bell retheming to Cars Land, Dinosaur getting rethemed to Indiana Jones, it seems that Disney is on this really strong trend to take older attractions that are around 30 years, 20 years old, and retheme them into something that is very relevant to today's generation, even if the ride is already very popular and the ride already gets a massive wait time just on merit alone. Yet, when we go back to that Tower of Terror in Hollywood Studios, that Tower of Terror attraction, as you can see right there, falls under the same category, which is why I'm extra worried, extra rambling, and extra spinning in my head. So, my prediction is that Tower of Terror will eventually receive a retheme, meaning not sure what's going to happen. Maybe the facade might get changed, but there's also a rumor going on that allegedly Disneyland Paris is looking to retheme the facade and that tower to Mission Breakout due to where it sits right outside of the Avengers campus. That proximity to the Avengers campus makes it very ripe and a very prime target for a Mission Breakout reskin and overlay, which gets me even more worried for Hollywood Studios' Tower of Terror. And I know, and honestly, when it comes to that prediction, I personally predict that tower is going to get, that tower, because of its iconic facade and the theming the Sunset Boulevard, for Disney to allegedly avoid backlash, Disney will very, very, very likely keep the exterior the same, but will completely overhaul and revamp the interior to a more, in quotation marks, relevant IP of their choosing. I'm not sure which IP Disney is choosing, because I was going to say Disney keeps ripping out old attractions and putting in new IPs. However, when you think about it, Star Wars 1917, Indiana Jones 1970, Indiana Jones 1980s. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not the best with geography, dates, or times. Muppets 1955. So it's not all about when the IP was made, but rather the relevance of the IP in popular culture. And when I come to think about it, even if the exterior stays the same, the tower might suffer, not suffer, but might experience a similar fate to the Great Movie Ride, where the exterior, the iconic Chinese theater remains the same, but yet there's a completely different ride inside. So I get the feeling that I get the feeling that's exactly what's going to happen to the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror if Disney does choose to retheme it to another IP or to whatever is relevant in today's culture. You never know with Disney. Some say that the Tower of Terror isn't going to retheme or revamp for years due to Hollywood Studios' construction with Rock and Roller Coaster and Muppets Land. Already a lot of the park is walled off, which makes it really hard to fathom that Disney is going to wall off another attraction until Montopolis is finished due to Hollywood Studios' low capacity. But you never know when Disney's going to be like, all right, we're going to go when the iron is hot. So let's retheme the tower. So I would love to hear your thoughts and questions in the comments below. And if you enjoy Tower Ramblings, write those frequent questions and answers and tips and tricks, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next video. Woo!